Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar by Portworx from Pure Storage. My name is Kalyan Ramanathan. I am the VP of Marketing for Portworx. I'm sure many of you here know Kubernetes and containers very well, but there is a new exciting space called platform engineering that is taking shape in the market today. But what exactly is platform engineering? How do I get started, and how do I do this well? To demystify the space, we are joined today by Thorsten de Vos from the Rosen Group. Thorsten has spent many years working on platform engineering. I will introduce Thorsten in a few minutes here. But before we do that, I want to talk to you guys about what is the industry view of platform engineering. Gartner talks of platform engineering as an emerging technology that helps many enterprises deliver applications at a much faster rate. And they do that by providing self-service capabilities to developers so that developers can build applications and can release applications in a much faster way. Gartner also believes that 80% of enterprises are going to be deploying platform engineering in some shape or form by 2026. So the time for platform engineering is here. And it'll be excellent to learn how to do this well from Thorsten and team. Let's start by introducing Thorsten and Rosen Group. For those of you who don't know Rosen, Rosen is a cutting-edge industrial safety and performance management company. But at the heart of it, Rosen is a data science, and machine learning company. But let me not take away more time from Thorsten. Thorsten, please welcome to this call. If you can start out by introducing yourself and the Rosen Group. Let's start with that in this webinar.
Hello, everybody. My name is Thorsten de Vos. I'm now an IT system architect at Rosen. I'm with Rosen now for 12 or 13 years, and I started my career as a VMware and storage administrator at Rosen. And Rosen is a company, as Kilian said, we are in the oil and gas industry, and our main focus is on inspecting pipelines. So the physical pipelines, which transports oil and gas mainly. We are using tools which we are self-developing to collect data from the pipeline, like wall thickness and cracks and dents. And we are analyzing these data and providing these as a service for our customers. Also, after we inspected the pipeline, we also offer integrity solutions for our customers, where they can measure the historical runs against each other to collect additional information for their future operations. And 3 years ago, we started our journey with Kubernetes. We already had a lot of Docker Podman instances running, and also a Mesos Atlas Swarm cluster. And we wanted to consolidate that in a big platform for our self-written software and also for our machine learning operation task.
Wonderful, Rosen. Wonderful, Thorsten, I should say. You guys indeed have a very, very interesting story. And as you had mentioned to me a few weeks ago, you had embarked on your platform engineering journey very early on. I'd love to know a little bit more about your platform engineering background here at Rosen. What does the team look like, Thorsten, the platform engineering team at Rosen, that is?
Yeah, sure. Luckily, we were able to have 1 year of development for our platform engineering function and roles. And we are a core team of 3 members. We have 4 part-time members and 1 product owner, which is doing the communications with all the development and machine learning teams. Our platform is delivering our services to around about 100 software developers and 200 Kubeflow users and data scientists. So we split our clusters to our internal software and dedicated cluster for our machine learning algorithms.
That is pretty impressive. 3 dedicated people supporting almost 300 developers and data scientists. That is indeed some fantastic leverage that you're getting at Rosen from your platform engineering team. What's the core role of this platform engineering team, Thorsten? What is your responsibility as platform engineers at this company?
Yeah, of course, the main focus is to keep the lights on all of our OpenShift clusters. And that is the main task. And on top of that, we are providing platform services for our users so that the users do not have to deploy many of the same applications for their services. For example, we provide a centralized key cloak for authentication. So not every application need their own authentication or deployments. And we provide certificates and many operators for GPUs, Postgres, MariaDB, etc. And of course, we deploy with our software Argo instances if the user wants them. They have it's their choice to choose an Argo CI/CD or do the deployment on their own with pipelines from Azure DevOps. And of course, container registries where they can store and pull their containers they develop. And for sure, storage. This is a big topic in the Kubernetes environment for us.
Wonderful. As Gartner had mentioned, and then I referred to in one of my previous slides, platform engineering is a combination of best practices, tools, as well as package services that teams like yours can provide to your developers and to your data scientist teams. What exactly are the tools that you guys specifically provide to your end users, Thorsten?
Yeah, the tools that we provide to our end users is mainly a self-developed project creation platform. It's a Git repository where the users can check in their resources they need in OpenShift. And on top of that, we developed all these pipelines which are performing all these actions, creating buckets on the flash blades, for example, creating the PVCs, creating the deployments itself, and providing also authentication. That is all done in a GitOps way, so that the users only have to make pull requests. Then we have validation pipelines running on that. Everything is fine, is linted, and then we only have to approve these requests, and then an auto merge will deploy directly all the required resources so the users can start. And of course, they can increase their resources. If they see my deployment needs a little bit more RAM or more CPUs or more storage, they just have to update all this in the Git repository, and our pipelines take care that happens also in the OpenShift clusters.
Thorsten, there is a concept of what Gartner and some of these other thought leaders call as golden paths, right? Which are essentially best practices to to build and deploy applications. Do you also provide best practices, guides like this to your developers so that they know how to use your tools and technologies well?
Yes, of course, we have a big knowledge centers where the developers can have access to and see how they can create all these resources they need in our delivery pipelines. And of course, also basic stuff for OpenShift itself, which applies to our policies. We use Kubernetes for policy management, and we have written a tool where the users can check their deployments against our policy so that they do not crash the first time they deploy it to our clusters. They can check it against our policy set and have a first view if the software will potentially run out.
Wonderful. Yeah. So in some sense, right, one way to think
Small
about,
things like
oh,
limits.
sorry. Okay. Makes sense. So, Thorsten, one way to think about platform engineering is that it's a product that, in some sense, you are offering to your developers, right? It's a platform product that the platform engineering team offers to your developers and your data scientists, so that they spend less time, less cognitive load in terms of understanding what infrastructure, what tools, what services, what best practices are available in an enterprise, and they spend more time building business logic and applications that help them develop the next set of mission critical applications that supports the business. How do you guys think about feedback mechanism and working with your developers and your data scientists? How do you guys think about building these, building and delivering this platform as a product service to your internal users?
Yeah, that's true. A lot of feedback is captured by the different teams. As said before, we have two type of clusters, let's say, for our internal applications and for our machine learning. And we have two dedicated teams on the business side. Our DevOps team, yeah, for collecting the feedback and the data from our internal software, and we have regular meetings with them, yeah, to have a good exchange and also to receive the feedback, yeah, they need a centralized message queue system like Kafka or MQTT, so that we can have an exchange with them and provide a single solution for that. Yeah? In the old way, they just installed the things they needed in their Fed client applications, and we have had a lot of different tools for each and every application. And with a platform engineering, we want to achieve that the users use single tools for that so that they also can switch between the projects. If you're working on project A, which is using Kafka as a message queue system, and then you switch to project B, which is using another solution for message queuing, you have first to start learning how to deal with it. And that is from the platform engineering perspective, giving a central applications access for the developers so that they don't have to care about that and they can focus on the main things in their applications, which gives a valuable review for the company.
And you have regular weekly meetings with your internal users, your developers, your data scientist teams, so that they provide you feedback and you are bringing the right tools and the right services that they want to include in their products.
Yes, we have these regular meetings and we also have Teams channels where we do our exchange, where users can ask questions and maybe also another developer can answer these questions and do not need somebody from our team, yeah, because it has already been asked and to yeah,
Okay.
it's already been asked, yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. It is pretty impressive that the way you guys have built platform engineering is that you almost think of it as a product within Rosen that you are providing your end users. I know, Thorsten, you have a strong infrastructure and storage background, and you're obviously a customer of Portworx and Pure Storage too. So can you talk a little bit about your infrastructure and storage challenges and how, infrastructure and in particular storage supports your platform engineering needs?
Yeah, sure. We have petabytes of data we need to have available in our Kubernetes clusters for our algorithm development. And yeah, therefore we need a solution which provides reliable and stable storage mechanisms for us. And yeah, the default storage was not the biggest topic within Kubernetes. The way to deliver storage to the users is not that easy and not built in a vanilla Kubernetes. So you need to attach something to your Kubernetes clusters, which helps you providing the storage. Yeah? And most of the things we found is a lot of manual work in the background to provide all the storage to the users. Yeah? Creating, for example, NFS shares manually, map them in PVCs and persistent volume claims for the users. And we were looking for a solution which meets our needs and also our goals as platform engineering team. We want to have everything as infrastructure as code, and we want everything to be available on an API level, so that the user is, or also we are requesting resources, and the system is taking care that these resources are available to us or to our users. Yeah, then we came across Portworx, which is doing all of that for us. Also this what I said before in our pipeline, if the user wants to request more storage, then the PVC will grow from 2 terabytes to 3 terabytes. And we as a platform engineering team, once that our storage backend we are using in our Kubernetes clusters recognize that the user is requesting 3 terabytes, checks that the underlying storage system is not capable of these 3 terabytes and also grows in that way. And that is something we are doing with Portworx and the autopilot feature, for example, which helps us to grow on an automated and self-provisioned way.
Wonderful. It goes without saying, and I think you mentioned it, right? Kubernetes was mostly built for transient workloads, and storage was a bit of an afterthought. And you need solutions like Portworx that enables you to not only provision storage, but also manage the data that comes from the storage systems on the back end, right? So I'm really very pleased to hear that your experience with Portworx and Pure Storage also has been extremely positive. So let's talk a little bit about, what's the impact on product delivery? At the end of the day, I am sure your team is being gold on certain metrics. I'm sure some VP of engineering who, your team reports into is looking at a platform engineering team and is saying, how is this helping me in my organization? So how do you guys measure the value of platform engineering team at a company like Rosen?
Yeah, the biggest topic for impact on our product delivery is, of course, the continuous way of delivering the applications and also on a security level. In the past 3 or 4 years, if I look into my mailbox, I have registered at a lot of CVEs for each and every vendor, and you have to be very, very close to closing all this critical issues. And also, if you look in the press, how many cyber attacks you have with ransomware attacks and so on, you need to deliver the software on a regular basis. And in the past, with fat client application, it was not that easy. That was developed and released on a quarterly or half a year basis. You got a new release for the software, and with a container software developer, you can be able to develop or to release new software almost every day. If you create your container every night, run your tests, you can deliver software on a daily basis, updated software on a daily basis. That is something that has been changed. Also, you can deploy or deliver minor changes more quickly than with fat client applications.
Yeah, wonderful. It's great to hear that you guys are seeing such benefits, with platform engineering at Rosen. Um, uh, the last question for you, Thorsten, what's the what's the future of platform engineering at Rosen? I mean, where do you see this headed in your company? Obviously, you've seen great values already, but I'm sure you guys have grand plans. And as we discussed before, this is a product, and every product, has future releases. So where do you see platform engineering headed to at Rosen?
In the past or in the last years, we developed our platform on self-made tools like Terraform, Ansible, and so on. And we are right now in a transition to introduce ACS and ACM from Red Hat to deploy our clusters. That is something we are currently hardly working on. And for this year, the main focus is to expand our clusters to the cloud. Either by provisioning sandbox clusters for our developers in the cloud, where they just can play around, because we have strict rules. You cannot download a lot of stuff into our Kubernetes clusters. But if the software developers want to have a look at new tools, they will be able to start sandbox clusters in a cloud platform to check that out, and also to expand to the cloud for scaling purposes, to peak workload scale out to platform for our peak workloads, and also to provide clusters for our customers. We have software where our customers can connect to, which is currently running in a DMZ environment, and we also want to move that to an OpenShift cluster or to a Kubernetes cluster. And we want to deploy a cluster in our own DMZ to provide services to our customers from our OpenShift cluster.
Wonderful. Thorsten, it almost feels like you have a 3-year roadmap that you've built out here. That'll keep you busy for a while to come. So that's always a good thing. I'm pretty sure about that. This has been a great conversation, Thorsten. So I wanted to talk quickly about, what were my takeaways from this, right? And I definitely want you to reflect on this too. First and foremost, what I learned from you is, look, platform engineering is both a role and a function. You don't call yourself a platform engineer necessarily. Your title is a IT system architect, and yet you are working on putting together, a very, very comprehensive platform engineering function at Thorsten. So you don't necessarily have to be a platform engineer. That doesn't have to be your title to do platform engineering work. The second thing that I learned from this conversation is that it provides real ROI in companies, right? There is real value that a platform engineering teams brings to its internal users. So may they be developers or may they be data scientists, right? So bringing together a platform as a product offering and making sure that you provide the best practices, the tools, as well as the services, really helps your developers and data scientists bring out applications faster. And then lastly, it's all about understanding your users, understanding their needs first, right? Rather than trying to boil the ocean, having that discussion in terms of understanding where they need the help, starting out with those tools and those services is perhaps the right way to start building out a platform engineering product as well as function within a company. Would definitely like you to reflect on these 3 takeaways. Would you like to add to these takeaways? Would you want to put them in your own words here, Thorsten?
Yeah, as you said before, the platform engineering is a role and a function. And when I imagined 3 or 4 years ago, I of course wrote scripts, yeah, but I saved my scripts on a file share to run it. And meanwhile, we as IT system architects or administrators, however you name it, we are also using the Git approach to save our work. That changed a lot in the last years. And that
Good.
makes it of course easier for new IT administrators to onboard them, because you have the documentation in there and you have also the change management in there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Thorsten. This has been a great conversation. I want to finish this conversation with a quick call to action. All right. For the folks on this call, you may know Portworx, but if you haven't heard of Portworx, we are a Kubernetes data management solution, and we help our customers, platform engineering teams like Thorsten at Rosen, help them automate, protect, and unify all of their Kubernetes data, as well as the applications that are being supported by this Kubernetes data. Our solutions are typically meant for platform engineering teams. And what we have realized is that as platform engineering teams start to build mission critical applications, they need storage management solutions and data management solutions like ours. We have a pretty elaborate blog on our website, and if you scan the QR code out here, you can definitely get to our blog and you can read about how we have supported many teams like Thorsten at Rosen and many other companies, many other mission critical companies, scale their platform engineering function and discipline across the entire organization. We'd also love for you guys to to engage with us on LinkedIn and Twitter. We have a pretty active social media presence, and we write a lot of thought leadership content around this topic. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for attending this webinar. I hope you learned a little bit more in terms of platform engineering today. I hope between Thorsten and I, we helped demystify some of the concepts around platform engineering, and also help you guys in terms of getting started and scaling this to your organization. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Kilian.